Hello, I thought today as I am steaming my clothes, getting ready to take pictures, that I would do a chatty work with me. Today I am using this steamer. Now normally I use like a full-size steamer, but I'm testing this, just kind of curious if you use a handheld one. Well, I actually curious how much time and how many more items I can get through using that larger steamer versus a handheld one. So that's why I'm just curious, so that's what I'm doing. If you are new here, hello, my name is Staci. I resell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Bonanza, and a little bit on Etsy. All right, I think this is a better angle, that way I can steam and talk to you. I thought that I would share why I like selling on eBay over Poshmark. And I used to like Poshmark a little bit better than I do right now, but this is in no certain order, just kind of as I was thinking about it. Number one is time management. And I say number one, but this actually goes into a lot about it, a big portion of it. Poshmark has a social component to it. That's how they, started out. They have different shows where you share your listings and then other people share yours. And that's kind of how it, started. Which is, there's good and bad to that. One of the bad things is that takes a lot of time out of the day. When it first started, you had to share each of your items individually. Now they do have an option where you can share the whole closet. But 3 times a day, yeah, there's parties. So you're sharing, if you have a lot of items, that is just, a lot to share. Ooh, this is too bright. And I don't always see a lot of payoff. Now they even have these live auctions, and we'll get into the price about that, but that's even more times. Their parties are live shows. So somebody will host a live show and sometimes they will share other people's items. You can share up to 2 of your items, usually in a show, but it may take hours to get through that. It is a social component because you can not verbally, but in the chat, talk with other sellers, possibly buyers. But there is a lot of time, I feel like, to be successful on Posh that you have to put into it. Where on eBay, it's more of a list it and forget it type thing. Yes, if it's an old listing, you might want to go back and revise it, do a sell similar, but for the most part, it's just list it and forget it. You may have to run sales and all that, but there's not that social component. So depending on your time management, how much time you're devoting to doing this, it can make a big difference. Of course, eBay has been around a lot longer than Poshmark. It has a much wider audience base. Poshmark started with being app. Now it's app or desktop. But eBay is global and just much bigger. I feel like a lot of people will probably feel a little bit more comfortable buying off eBay than Poshmark. And this is not to bash Poshmark or anything like that. This is just telling you my experiences with the difference in each platform. I have made a lot of sales on both. I would not, personally, I'm not going to stop selling on Poshmark. I'm just telling you why eBay is it's more of my main platform. I would say eBay is number 1, Poshmark 2, Mercari, then Etsy around the holiday, and then Bonanza is how I would rank for me personally. On eBay, you can sell pretty much anything. On Poshmark, they have opened it up to more items, more different categories that you can list. They also have the global shipping network, where if you don't feel comfortable shipping international, you can use that option and your item can be sold international, but you're only responsible for getting it shipped to the eBay distribution center in the US, and then they take care of the rest. On eBay, you have a lot more flexibility on how you want to run your business. I personally do not offer free shipping, but if you want to do that, you can. Now you can do that on Poshmark though when you list it. So at first you couldn't do that, but now you can do that. However, it's much easier if you want to run a sale for a week, for a weekend. Much easier to run a sale on eBay than Poshmark. If you want to offer a partial refund, I don't know, there's just more flexibility if they overpaid for shipping or something and you want to offer a little bit back. And if a customer wants to buy more than one thing. So let's say on Poshmark, a buyer sees something in your closet, they purchase it, then they look a little bit more, they find another item. You go in and cancel that, relist it, then have the buyer bundle it. Otherwise, they have to pay shipping on both shipments. And sometimes if it's a new buyer on Posh, it might be a little difficult to explain that via messages on the post, on your listing, on how to do that and like why you're canceling it and oh yeah, you have to repurchase it, that kind of thing. Where on eBay, you can just either combine it, or if they've already paid for both and you want to combine shipping and send it in the same box, you can just refund them. Speaking of shipping, now if you are new to selling, Poshmark might be the way to go because they do make shipping very easy. On Poshmark, everything goes priority. You can get free shipping supplies from the post office. The options that you can offer somebody, and an offer is you can, or when you're listing, you can do a couple of different discounted shipping or free shipping or just regular. So there's only really 3 options as far as how much discount you want to give, but everything goes priority. On eBay, you do have more options. However, if you're just starting out, that can be confusing because you have so many different sizes. You can do international, priority, FedEx, UPS. They used to have first class and just regular parcel, but now everything is Ground Advantage. But there's just a lot more that you can do. And you do have to make sure if you have a large or heavy item, definitely make sure you have those measurements in your listing. Now on Posh, the flat rate is up to 5 pounds. If you have something or somebody bundles and they go over 5 pounds, it is a different flat shipping rate. From a buyer's point of view, eBay is probably better. From a seller's point of view, Poshmark is better. Poshmark does not accept returns. However, However, you are still protected if you buy something and the seller, it's completely not what the seller said it was. On Posh, you can open a case to either refund it or get your money back. But in general, just because it doesn't fit, that's not a valid reason to return on Posh. On eBay, a seller, you can say whether you want to offer returns or not, but generally speaking, like if the person wants to return it, they're going to be able to return it. So for that reason, if I have an item and especially if I've had it for a while, I will definitely go a little bit lower on my selling price on Poshmark versus eBay because I know there's no returns. The fees, generally speaking, are higher though on Poshmark than eBay. I say generally speaking because eBay's fees really depend on what you're selling. It's just not a flat rate it depends on category. And another thing, and this will depend on who you're talking to, I feel like, as eBay sellers, because some people I've seen online have a horrible experience with eBay's customer service. They have trouble getting a real live human being. Knock on wood, I have not had trouble. However, on Poshmark, when I've had questions, I never could find a number to call, so it's all through messages. sometimes I would have a hard time getting an answer and kind of just going back and forth. You know, a lot of things you can get resolved in messages and in emails, but sometimes I feel like just talking to a person is what you need to do. So for me, I feel like if I have a problem and I need to contact customer service, I find that easier to do on eBay. I just realized that I said earlier in the video that I was going to talk about the live shows, and I didn't. Poshmark has this thing, they've had it for quite a while, but where you can do live shows. So somebody can host a show, or you can have two people doing co-hosting. Some people just show their own items, and some people will do a share show, it's called, where they'll share some of their items, and then they'll share some of your items. Now, the thing of it is, well, number one, there's so many, okay, you know what, no. I have a lot to say about Poshmark shows, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a whole separate video about it. So, yes, just subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you like this style of video, the chit chat, work with me. I am hoping going forward, my plan is to put one video up a week on this channel. So if you want more reselling content, then I hope you will hit that subscribe button and join me here once a week. Thanks, bye.